The Beirut blast video. All right, let's do that real quick. That's very so okay. There's a show that I watch on YouTube every week. It's called VFX Artists React, and every week they react to a bunch of different clips from movies that have a lot of or TV shows that have a lot of visual effects. Their YouTube channel is called Corridor Crew. They're a bunch of VFX. They're a VFX house basically. You know, they do work for like movies and stuff, and on the side they make a bunch of YouTube videos. And I'm obsessed with VFX. I'm not a computer coder. I don't know how to do any VFX, but I love behind the scenes of every movie. Like, and I used to buy original DVDs. I used to have a huge collection of DVDs and Blu-rays. I used to love the bonus feature discs that come with these movies. I would dive into them and see everything, like how they would make movies from the VFX. And I've always been obsessed with visual effects like Industrial Light and Magic and Weta. All of these companies that make like kick-ass, top-notch VFX. And I like a lot of effects-heavy movies, so a show about people that react to visual effects, that's my cup of tea. So every Sunday they drop an episode. This Sunday they dropped an episode, and like the thumbnail just caught my attention. It said like Beirut explosion. Hello, we'll show a screenshot of the thumbnail. I was like, what the fuck? I go on the video, I skip to 5 minutes, and this is the segment that I see now. This is a 3-minute segment. I really think we should watch the whole thing because they do such a good job of breaking it down. There's like a much shorter version, like Megaphone made like a 30-second version of it, but I think it's important for us to watch this whole thing, and then I'm gonna, share. We're gonna comment on it as we watch it.
When the war started, they protected me.
Did you guys see the new trailer for The Creator?
I haven't. I've been avoiding it because I want to go in blind.
Well, now you're gonna watch it.
So a Reddit user named BrokeBoyAdvanced caught this shot.
Yes. We gotta give a shout out to Broke Boy Advanced on Reddit. He's the guy who noticed this thing. I've seen this trailer, folks, on like IMAX screens. I never made the connection. I never would have noticed it. So this guy, Hala Reddit, literally made the connection, which is fucking awesome.
And pointed out on the filmmakers subreddit.
Like yesterday? Because this came out a day ago.
Yeah, like yesterday. I just want to see if you guys catch it, and let's talk about it.
10 years ago today,
so I've yet to see any of this trailer. I've been in full blackout mode.
Okay, not this shot.
Whoa, hold up.
Really cool.
Okay, pause.
Yeah,
wait.
Did you see it?
No, I'm
So these guys, the two other guys, and the guy sitting in the middle, Ren, and the guy on the left, Jordan, they don't know what's happening. Only Nico, the guy with the long hair, knows what's going on here. So he's kind of seeing if they can figure out Trombi.
making this nuclear bomb video, and that was like the perfect B-roll.
Yeah, but go back again. The shot after the nuclear bomb shot.
That one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. Is that what we're looking for? Coolness? Because I found it.
Can we pause on it?
You want it to be cool, but then it doesn't really seem that cool anymore.
Wait, what happened?
What explosion does that look like in recent memory?
Oh, you're talking about Beirut.
Wait. They used the explosion from the actual footage of Beirut and composited it into. Yikes.
Yikes.
I don't know about that one.
Wait, what do you mean?
I gotta say, I love their reaction. Because the guy sitting in the middle, Ren, normally Mabiskut. Ren is always talking. He's very happy. He's very excited and passionate about visual effects. The look on his face tells you everything you need to know about, like, this is so fucked up. And these are guys that work with VFX. They do this type of shit every day. So they're like, this is so And the other guy, Jordan's like, wait, this is in the movie? Like, this is not a normal thing that visual effects people normally do. At least people with ethics. So I love the way that they're reacting to this, to be honest with you.
Here's the movie frame. Here's the Beirut frame. Look at the lens flare across the cloud.
Oh, yikes. Yikes. I don't think that's a good idea, though.
No. But you can literally see, like, behind the CGI futuristic buildings are the exact buildings. Like, you can see that little, like, yellowish building with, like, little top on it right next to that antenna.
Oh, that's just, don't do it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so they basically took the real footage.
They composite and do composite.
They used it as a base plate for their VFX shot, and then they dressed it up. They modernized the buildings. They made it look a little bit different. But the base plate for that VFX shot is a real life shot, real life footage of the August 4th blast, which we're celebrating the anniversary of this week. I was there, by the way. Like, I was Beirut, bro. Like, I thought I was gonna die when that happened. So for someone to use that footage in a movie trailer to sell a movie is beyond fucked up. It is beyond unethical. I want the guys to keep talking before I get into it.
Yikes, man.
You got an emotional reaction, right? It's like
It felt very
it's
visceral.
yikes, right?
Yeah.
So, putting words to that, I'm gonna hold off on like judgment for the filmmakers for a second. Just for me, for my enjoyment of a movie, I want to go in and have fun. I want to watch things. I want to think these are cool.
Yeah.
And when it's actual footage from an actual tragedy, it's not cool anymore. I don't enjoy it. Whatever the filmmakers are wanting to do, like, I personally don't like it.
Yeah.
And it makes me not want to watch the film.
I kind of get you because, I mean, a lot of why we go to films is to escape reality and to just even know that under the surface of what are visual effects and really well done visual effects is actual devastation or suffering or death even. It just feels, it's upsetting, yeah. It's not a good idea.
You know, some people brought up the question, like, well, what about reference and things like that? And like,
And again, I can't highlight Ren, who's sitting in the middle, can barely form a sentence. He's just watching this in disgust, which if someone like me who watches these guys every week, I know how they behave. So this is so out of character for Ren that I'm very happy that they feel this way because it's. And I left a comment on their video. I was like, "Thank you for pointing this out, boys." I really appreciated it because I never would have known unless they talked about it.
I think like when you're looking at tragedy or like footage of tragedy for reference, I think that's okay because you know you're looking at reality. You're understanding the world, right? And art is a process of understanding the world. But to use it as like stock footage in your shot, like to exploit the footage of tragedy, especially when it's like kind of this recent still. Maybe you're rushing to get a trailer out and you need a shot, but it's like, oh,
Yeah.
even that's even worse in a way. You're advertising. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, quick, let's just use that the tragic footage. Just we need something quick for our marketing. It's like.
Yeah.
Ugh. You know, maybe the filmmakers are trying to be like, we don't want it to hit. We want you to feel like the reality of these nukes going off. But like, you got robots in like sci-fi buildings. It's just, it doesn't work for me. You know,
I totally get
it doesn't work for me. I'm curious what you guys think. You know, let us know in the comments. And once again, shout out to Reddit user BrokeBoyAdvanced for catching this.
Broke Boy Advanced, if you ever see this video, I don't know how this will end. You'll end up seeing this, but if you ever see this, thank you from a Lebanese guy
Thank
who.
you.
And were you at the blast? Like,
Yeah.
did you experience the fucking?
ما كنت قريب كتير.
Thank God, man. And you don't have to have been there to be offended or disgusted by this. So no, Anna, for me, this really upset me. Like I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like, Anjad, do we mean nothing to you? Halla. Just to build on something that Nico was saying at the end, like maybe they were in a rush to get this shot done, maybe just for the trailer. Like I understand if it's like some junior, it's a young VFX artist. He did it without telling anyone. Like maybe he didn't tell the director, Gareth Edwards, that he's doing this. He tried to do it in secret. He did it. No one really knew. Maybe he was in a rush to get this out for the trailer. Like I get wanting to take a shortcut because you were under a lot of pressure. And something I have to say, visual effects artists in the States and everywhere in the world are under a lot of pressure work-wise. They're severely underpaid. The whole VFX industry is very fucked up. The way a VFX house gets a job is they bid. And a movie says, yo, we're looking for a VFX house to make VFX for Iron Man 5, for example. You have all these, كأنه the government عم بيعمل مشروع and they're trying to get architects to bid for the project. It's the same thing. So these VFX houses, they're so desperate to get the work, they keep lowering their price to get these jobs until the end, it barely covers their expenses. Sometimes they take jobs at a loss, just يفوتوا شوية مصاري, even though they know it's going to cost them money. And a lot of times there's a documentary called Life After Pi. It's about the VFX house that did the VFX for Life of Pi. Have you seen it? It's got the CGI tiger on the boat. Very VFX heavy
Life
movie.
of Pi إيه بس in the Life After Pi
Yeah.
لا.
So the guys that made the VFX for Life of Pi won the Oscar for that movie. They went bankrupt like a week later. They had to declare bankruptcy. Because halfway through the movie, like the director was like, I don't like the design of the tiger. Change everything. Redo it from scratch. And that technically, if you pay for the VFX house, they have to do whatever the fuck you ask. So Nteco, they had to work double the time, invest twice the money, all that shit. They had to go bankrupt after winning a fucking Oscar. So I get that VFX artists are, with Marvel, the Marvel boom and TV is booming. So there's more and more projects. They need more and more VFX. These people are worked so hard and they're underpaid, they're undervalued. So I completely understand that. So some junior VFX guys like, shit, I got to get this shot done by tomorrow. Let's use some existing footage. I can kind of forgive that. Y'all got to take that shit out of the trailer. Knowing that now that the world has seen it, now that the world knows what you guys fucking did, cut that out of the movie. Cut that fucking scene out. Make another one. This is unacceptable.
Yeah, like أنا I think the guy على الشمال قالها.
Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan. The only reason why I watch movies personally is because I want to escape reality, and the fact that they used like one of the most tragic events and they put it in the movie. حتى كمان عارف إنه it's a bit controversial شو هقول بس إنه whenever they did the iMagic did the series تبع Beirut 607 after like a year or after like months Yeah, it wasn't cool.
I thought it was
كمان.
too soon as well. I thought it was way too soon. I thought it was exploitative. I know it won a bunch of awards. A lot of people I know worked on those things. I find it weird that like
I was on set لشيو. It wasn't ما كان حلو.
it was strange, bro. And I'm like, did you كيف لحقتوا تكتبوا scripts? There's still like the blood isn't warm on the fucking ground yet, and they have
Yeah.
scripts written, and I haven't seen a single one of those films to be
Yeah,
honest.
it was
with you.
like
And I don't plan on watching one.
صح انه هو عن جد يعني من بعد الجمعة دغري بيطلعوا عنبر رقم 7 دغري يعني. It's a bit
And I just want to talk about a little bit. Like, so here's a poster for the film. The creator. It's directed by Gareth Edwards. Now, look, personally, guys, I love original sci-fi movies. Like this, to me, honestly, looked great. You know what I mean? Like we don't get a lot of these movies, big budget sci-fi movies that aren't based on something that's extremely famous, like a comic book or something like that. So I thought it was cool. Gareth Edwards has also made a couple of movies that I like. He made Monsters in like 2010 or 2012. It's this low budget. Let me see. I wrote down a couple of things. So yeah, he made Monsters in 2010. It's a very low budget monster movie with some light VFX work. Very nice. I thought it was great for such a low budget movie. He was able to do a lot with that money. In 2014, he directed the Godzilla reboot, which at the time I kind of liked, but no, when looking back at it, there was not nearly enough Godzilla in that movie. It's kind of boring. You don't care about any of the human characters. Like it should have been a lot more fun than it was, but it was a well-made movie. Then he made Rogue One in 2016, Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeah.
انشحت منه للفيلم. Like once they had an early cut of the movie, it was so bad that they had to kick him out, and they brought in Tony Gilroy to like rewrite a bunch of scenes and to do a whole bunch of reshoots, like months of reshoots, and he saved that movie because apparently Gareth Edwards' work was so bad. Let me just get you a couple of. There's like a bunch of news articles.
He did كمان The Last Jedi.
He was in The Last Jedi. He had a little cameo. Ryan Johnson directed The Last Jedi. So these are just a few clippings from Gareth Edwards while he was directing Rogue One. Star Wars Rogue One was almost terrible. How it was saved from being awful. Here's another one. Rogue One's reshoots show how Disney saved the first standalone Star Wars movie. Gareth Edwards' film was a surprisingly risky experiment for the franchise. Hollywood Reporter, Tony Gilroy on Rogue One reshoots. They were in terrible trouble. The screenwriter who salvaged the Star Wars project says the situation was so dire, all you could do was improve their position. And The Escapist says, the Rogue One director's cut you always wanted is never, ever coming, says Tony Gilroy. So, Gareth, my man, I'm not trying to make you feel bad here, but like, bruh, your track record isn't great. I'm surprised someone gave you this much money to make a movie like this after the shit show that was Star Wars Rogue One. Maybe don't be doing stupid shit like this, Gareth. What do you think about that, Gareth? I hope that decision, that VFX shot, like Gareth Makin Arif, he never approved it, or like if he had known, like what, you based that on a real explosion, fuck you. I don't know what Gareth did or how he reacted, but if Gareth knew that this was the case and he greenlit it,
that's fucked
fuck
up.
you, Gareth Edwards. I hope you never work again. هلا عنا مارتين زعرون هون حط comment على Megaphone's reel. This is the kind of movie they should ban, not Barbie. Listen, Martin, نحن معك, they should not ban Barbie, but let's not start banning movies. I'm not even calling for this to be banned. Let's stop. نحن دغري من not ban it بلبنان. Ban.
جد stop banning.
Stop banning. ما
خلص بس في
بكفي
أفلام.
banning. ما بدنا بقى banning, بس انه cut that scene out. Not مش the Lebanese government. Gareth. Fucking Gareth Edwards. Cut that shit out, bro. Let's not talk about Rogue One anymore. Khalas, let's look past Rogue One. Don't fuck this up. This is a big ass budget sci-fi movie. You want this to do well, right? Mission of Lebanon is gonna help you. But no. We'll support you any way we can, bro. But cut that fucking scene out of the movie. Because you can't, your career cannot afford a fucking flop. Yeah, folks, this is it. Yeah, and crazy news. And for this news to drop on during the week of the August 4th explosion, which is fucking crazy. Yo, I'm going to update you guys on what happens. Has the scene been cut from the movie? And I'm doing my best to harass I went to the trailer on YouTube. I harassed them. I tried to find Gareth Edwards on Twitter. He's not on Twitter because the Star Wars fans would have killed him. So I'm trying to tweet at him directly, like what up, motherfucker? Like, cut that shit out.